University of Port Harcourt. Enlightenment and self-reliance. That is the motto of the school, which seeks to promote knowledge in science, arts, and entrepreneurship. The university has three major campuses known as Unipark or Abuja campus, Joba Park, as well as Delta Park, and has a serene environment which promotes serious academic work. This serenity equally encourages arts. Since the establishment of the university in 1975, it has contributed immensely towards national development through its multidisciplinary nature. Courses are designed to equip students in theory and practice. The Faculty of Humanities, which happens to be the first faculty in the university, is not left out towards ensuring that its courses equip students in both theory and practice. THA 100.1 Fundamentals of Theatre Arts, a faculty-based course, explicates these assertions. THA 100.1 is a course domiciled in the Department of Theatre and Film Studies. However, it is offered by other departments in the faculty, such as Linguistics and Communication Studies, Religious and Cultural Studies, History and Diplomatic Studies, Foreign Languages and Literature, English Studies, Educational Foundation, and others. THA 100.1, popularly known as the Festival of Plays, was made prominent by Professor Henry Leopold Belgam, who set its current methodology in 1982.
Left the University of Jos to the University of Port Harcourt in 1982 as a lecturer 2. And when I reported to the then head of department, Professor Olarotin, he assigned me a course titled Fundamentals of Theatre Arts. Then it was CRT 100.1. It was CRT because then we had the Department of Creative Arts, which housed theater arts, fine arts, music. But then music was not functioning. What was functioning were just the drama aspect, the theater aspect, and the fine arts department. So he assigned that course to me. It was a foundation course, embracing the whole faculty. So when I entered that class the first day, I saw the number of students. There were about 200 and something, you know. So I thought I introduced myself that day and told them we were going to work as a team. The students now divided the students into groups. Group 1 to up to group 10, and asked them to choose whatever plays they liked. I also created a group that had to do with choral, dance group, mime group, and all that. So we divided them into various groups, and they started work.
Yeah.
was going around and letting it grow, but it was tedious. So I now hinted him that we are going to involve other lecturers. Let other lecturers participate as supervisors, even teach them aspects of theatre. That was done. And then when the exam, came, I invited Olabokun to come and watch the festival. And they wrote to the then Vice Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor who was there when I was head of department, to come and watch the festival. So I tagged it that 100 Festival of Plays. People were coming from town. In fact, it was an exam, but it was an open show for everybody. People were coming from town, from Choba, from Port Harcourt City. When the VC came and launched it, I think he gave us a sum of 6,000 naira. The name of the VC who declared it an annual festival, who gave us that honorarium, was Professor Kelsey Harrison.
Action!
The theoretical and practical aspects of the course starts after the students have registered for the course. Thereafter, students attend classes during which they are divided into several groups. The head of department, Professor Femi Shaka, identifies the core values of the course and its import to students.
The THA 100.1 course is a faculty course. It is called Introduction to Theatre and Film Studies. The whole background for the introduction of that course is that we want students from other departments within the faculty to have an idea of what we do in the Department of Theatre and Film Studies in terms of performance, in terms of history, in terms of theory and criticism, in terms of things that have to do in the area of film, for instance, production, in terms of documentation and so on and so forth. It's just to introduce them to the performing arts as well as film as a discipline, so that when they go back to their own departments, they will have a fuller understanding of what we do or what we teach our students in the Department of Theatre and Film Studies. So if you look at how the course is structured, there is a history component that introduces students to the history of Nigerian theatre, to the history of Nigerian cinema. It introduces them to issues that has to do with literature, in that they study plays, and then it introduces students to the area of acting and directing, in that somewhere along the line all the students in the course are divided into groups, and those groups have group leaders, they have directors, stage managers, all the performing arms of the theatre are represented, and of course lecturers are made to supervise the productions, so that at the end of the day they will have a fuller picture of what we do as a department of theatre and film studies. So, any student who has passed through the faculty, most of them later in life boast, that they took the course TAR 100. When anybody says they took the course TAR 100, it's like a watershed in their life, because that is when they really understand and are able to appreciate what, you know, kind of training the movie stars, their favorite movie stars that they watch, you know, in films, the kind of training that prepared them for what they are doing currently.
Come here, come here. Let's see you.
Rehearsal of different plays, choral and poetic dramatization commence immediately the groups are shared. All these groups, which have different lecturers as supervisors, have a central coordinator who ensures the smooth running of the theoretical and practical aspects of the course.
Festival of Plays is all about the practical component of the course TAR 100.1, otherwise called Fundamentals of the Arts of Theatre and Film Studies, where the first-year students in theatre and film studies would gather to showcase the talents they have brought to the discipline they have come to learn. For a few months now, they have been in the classroom. Different lecturers have taught them the arts of the theatre, and they are coming to let the world see that they are interested in the course. They want to see how they can harness their hobbies, their talents, and the impact the lecturers are making on them together. Personally, I enjoy being assigned to coordinate this course. We are trying to introduce some innovations in this year's Festival of Plays. Number one, we are having a documentary to keep a record track of what is being done. We are also introducing for the first time the use of CBT in their theoretical examination. I feel good. I feel privileged. I feel honored to undertake this assignment. It's something that gladdens the heart to see young stars coming up, going to the stage to display what God has bequeathed them with. It's noble to think that Nollywood has a future in our students. It's amazing to see that young boys and girls come to theater and film studies with bundles of talents and hobbies.
Satoni Japong equally highlights the operational methodology of the course.
Students are actually rehearsing towards this examination, and we have about 22 groups here who are actually treating different aspects of the program. We have the play test, we have poetry dramatization, and we have chorus. And very soon we are going to have our practical exams, which will soon start from 1st June to 6th of June. 4 groups will definitely perform a day. We start at 4 p.m. and end at 8:30 p.m. And we have examiners, 2 examiners a day to take care of these performances.
Then the viewers out there will be the judge. So you push yourself.
I hope they have angelic voices though.
Just listen, you will be the judge and their mother and father will be the judge. Listen now.
Money, African money, Oga de chop am yaku, he de chop am yege, Oga de chop am yaga, he de chop am yafu, Oga de chop am chop.
This time, the theory exams will take a different turn altogether. RCTC personnel will come in, and therefore we expect all our students to register so that their names can be forwarded to that unit to start their bit of the program.
Putting up a theater production is quite a daunting task. However, students learn a lot in the rehearsal process. As challenging as the rehearsal process can be, one wonders what productions will be churned out. Join us as we take you through this artistic experience coming from months of preparation.
we cannot reject. Death, the only enemy that we cannot defeat. Death, the only enemy that we must celebrate. I thank you. And so, we celebrate you tonight. Yeah, Group 16, the 100, celebrates you in a choral title, Remembrance. Stage managed by Joy Eric Ogogo. Directed by my humble self. And supervised by Mr. Edu Sunday. There, we bury you today, that you will experience what we face when you knock. Friends, what do we say to them?
I hope he's built on
victims of an unfortunate death. Victims of an untimely death. Where are they? Where have we buried them? What have we done? He's dead and gone. He's gone and should be forgotten forever. The wonderful dancer who groomed the crowdfish dancers, the evil blade. Amatsu Braid. Do we remember them? Recently, the last man standing. The man who pioneered the department. The man who nurtured what we celebrate today, Power 100. The man who grew most of the characters we enjoy today. The critic of critics. Chief Dr. Stanley Oku. A man we must respect for his attitude towards teaching, towards grooming. If we respect these diseased lecturers, Professor Olarotimi, Geoffrey Ayoke, Amatsu Braid, and Chief Dr. Stanley Oku. Let's rise up in honor of them and sing the song.
majority of Nollywood stars trained under this same roof. The CRAB, an acronym for Creative Review of Arts and Books. Behold the leaders of tomorrow, stars that will keep the Thespian flag flying.